So the deadline is real. I should already have this handled is not the deadline. Both of those are pressure. Only one of them is the situation. I'm Kevin Allen Kerber. This is the Pressure Audit Kit walkthrough of the second worksheet, separating external pressure from internal pressure. By the end of this worksheet, you'll know how much of the weight belongs to the problem and how much of it you're bringing. That's not a small thing to know. It changes what you go after. This is page 3 of the free kit. If you did page 2, the first worksheet, put your 3 sentences next to you. If you didn't, one pressure that you're carrying right now is plenty to work with. The page asks one question, split into 2. Section A, what's externally true? Section B, what am I adding? Before we start, one word on this page needs care. Added. Added doesn't mean fake. An expectation you put on yourself produces very real distress and a very real behavior. A rule you picked up at 9 can still be running your calendar at 45. This isn't about which part is legitimate. It's about where each part came from. One piece belongs to the situation in front of you. Another piece is being supplied by something older. All right, first pressure. Read the first sentence you wrote on page 2. Section A, what's externally true? Stay close to what you could point at. If it's money and you wrote, the payment's due Friday, and I don't have all of it. External truth is the amount, the date, what's actually in your account, whether there's a late fee, you might need to contact somebody. I'm irresponsible is not external truth. It may be loud. It isn't a condition. If it's work, the project's 4 days behind. 2 sections aren't done. The client needs an update by noon tomorrow. Still uncomfortable, but now you can work with it. And here's one worth catching. Say it's a health thing. The symptom's been going on 6 days. Appointment's Tuesday. I don't have a diagnosis yet. That last sentence counts. Not knowing is a real condition. You don't have to fill the uncertainty with a conclusion just to make the pressure legitimate. Write the external conditions for your first pressure as concrete as you can get. All right, great. Now section B, the checklist. 3 groups on the page. I'll read a few from each. The rest are printed right there, so scan them for yourself. You'll know your own when you see them. The first group is survival and self-worth. I should already have this figured out. I'm failing if I need help. My worth depends on how well I manage this. Don't check one because it sounds familiar in general. Check it if it's live around this pressure. That's the whole discipline of this page. Second group is catastrophe and control. This is going to get worse before it gets better. If I don't solve this now, something irreversible happens. My negative thoughts are creating the outcomes I don't want. The first 2 run past the facts and try to force certainty about a future that hasn't shown up yet. The third one is doing something different. It turns a thought into a dangerous act. So now you're monitoring your own mind while also handling the actual problem. That's 2 jobs. Third group, this is the one I'll slow down for because these don't look like pressure. I should be further along by now with everything I've learned. I should be able to handle this. I have the tools. How about this? If I were really aligned, this wouldn't be so hard. These sound sophisticated, kind of. They're wearing the language of growth and regulation and alignment, but look at what they're actually doing. They take everything you've learned and turn it into one more standard you're failing to meet. Understanding a pattern doesn't remove the conditions that set it off. Having a tool doesn't mean the tool works on command. Those are two different claims. And this group of sentences quietly treats them as one. Check what's active on your first pressure. Now, hold the two columns side by side. The goal here is not to decide it's all in your head. If the payment's due, it's due. If your body needs rest, it needs rest. If someone's waiting on an answer, that call still has to happen. The page is only asking whether the situation is also being asked to do a second job, prove your worth, guarantee your safety, predict the future, show how far you've come. Run the same two moves on pressure 2 and pressure 3. Facts first, then the checklist. One thing to watch while you do. Say the pressure is relationship and the external truth is, we disagree about a decision and neither of us has made a move. Then the addition shows up. If this were the right relationship, this wouldn't be so hard. Watch what that does. A hard conversation just became a verdict on the whole relationship. Same conversation, completely different weight. Go ahead and finish 2 and 3. Now step back and look at the whole page. Here's the payoff. Look down at section B, across the 3 pressures. Find the sentence that you checked more than once. Somebody checks, I should already have this figured out. Under money, under work, under health. 3 different problems, one demand routing all of them. Somebody else finds, I'm failing if I need help, showing up under caregiving and under unfinished tasks. That repetition is the most useful thing on this page because it means working harder on all 3 problems will never settle that sentence. The sentence wasn't created by any of them. Now the other direction, and this matters just as much. You might look at section A and find the external load is simply large, too many obligations, not enough money, a body that actually needs rest. If that's what the page shows, that's not a failure of insight. That's evidence. It means the next move involves resources or limits or a conversation or help, not a better attitude. This page isn't built to reduce everything to mindset. It's built to tell you which one you're dealing with. And it runs the other way too. Sometimes the task is tiny and the addition is enormous. Sending one email can feel like a test of whether you're competent or acceptable or safe. Seeing that doesn't make the email unnecessary. It explains why a 4-minute task has been eating your week. As you think about this, try 2 sentences out loud if you can. What's true is, and then what I'm adding is. You're not arguing with either one. You're putting them in separate rooms. Next episode, we're going to take the internal side of one layer down and find the rule underneath it. Not the thought, the rule, the thing telling you what you have to be or do or prevent or prove before you're allowed to rest. All right, that was some great work, and I hope you got some strong insights there. When you're ready, move on to the next worksheet.